Welcome, everybody, to yet another episode of Breathesober Transformation Stories. Once again, I have an incredible human being with me here today. Somebody who has been through the thick of it all as a nurse, as an RN, working crazy long hours in one of the most stressful environments for a nurse as well. I have with me Camilla. Camilla, welcome to the this episode. Camilla joined us back in November and has one of the most remarkable transformation stories. And one of the things that I like to emphasize on is that we do not chase perfection here because it doesn't really exist. So today you're going to hear the raw and the unadulterated story of Camilla and how things have been. So Camilla, welcome. How are you?
Sick, but I'm good.
I get it. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and even when you're not feeling so well. So Camilla, for all of our audience, I'd love to know, when you joined us and what life was like prior to you joining Breathe Sober.
Life before Breathe Sober was just, I knew that it was affecting my life, and I wanted to get in grounds. It's not doing anything good for me. I didn't want it to affect any more aspects of my life than it already had. And I know health-wise, I have a lot of health things going on in my family, which scares me that could happen to me. And alcoholism does run in my family. So I just wanted to get into an environment where I had support and I had people and I had someone to talk to at all times, because I've tried everything else. I've been sober, and the person that Hamza set me up with has become one of, I consider a close friend now. She's my twin from Toronto. So
I love that. I love that. So just to be clear, before you joined Breathe Sober, alcohol was a daily part of your life, something that you were depending on, something you were relying on. And that's what prompted you to join Breathe Sober, because you had realized that things can't keep going this way.
Yes.
And just for the audience, the person that she's referring to, her name is Alana. She is one of my two amazing coaches that work with everybody in a one-on-one capacity in the program, in the 6-month program. So, okay, great. Fantastic. So, you joined us back in November. We're in April now. So can you tell us a little bit about what it was like for you when you first started, what you learned, and how things changed for you?
When I first started, it was a little bit hard for me. I've had a lot of stuff going on in my life. My partner's mother has died a couple of years ago, which is kind of when it started to get bad. And then his father has just recently passed away. His uncle just recently passed away. So I've had a lot of stressors. My partner was also in a car accident in December. So it's been hard, and I questioned whether or not I could actually do it. But to be quite honest, having this cold that I've had has made it a lot easier, because I feel like absolute dirt a lot, and I don't want to make myself feel worse. So it's actually helped quite a bit. And it's, I've been going to therapy. I've been doing this. I've been trying to put most of my time into doing this, because I just find I'm a very written workbook kind of person, and I love that. Highlighters, different color pens. You give it to me and I'll do it. And so I love how focused it is.
I love that. So from what you're saying, it seems like the structure, the step-by-step guide, the blueprint that we make for you, all of that is what's helping you stay focused and stay grounded. You mentioned something to me just before getting started, which was your drinking has reduced by 95%, which is absolutely incredible. So can you give us a little bit more about that? What was it like before? What's it like now? And how are you feeling in terms of before and after?
Before, it was, I'm going to say 2 bottles of wine, maybe a little vodka a day. And now I do not drink hard liquor. I do not drink wine. I will maybe have a cider if I'm having a really bad day. But for the most part, I feel like it's more of I like something to do with my hands. So
Right.
I've tried to replace it with like amino acid drinks, like soda waters, like flavored waters. So it's just now it's if I feel the urge now to go and grab something, and even if I want it to be a drink, I do what I call the 15-minute break. I'll set a timer on my phone for 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes, if I still want to drink, I'll do another 15 minutes until that kind of subsides. But I always just go grab like a flavored water, something to just keep my hands busy. Because for so many years of my life, it's just been like, I want something to drink. I go grab a glass of wine and it's.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I've tried to find different ways to occupy my hands.
So what you're talking about is an alternative strategy, which is, which works wonders in these various contexts that we develop all of our habits in, especially around the grab something to have a sip as you're dealing with life. One thing I remember distinctly is, your emotional state was it was weighing very heavy on you when you had first started. Between then and now, how has your emotional stability, your, internal world, how has that changed?
I feel like my emotional state is so much better now. Alana actually sent me the link to buy the breathwork cards that just give me a layout too, and I just keep them beside my bed. But going to therapy and having people to talk to that have had the same experience, it really gives me it just makes me feel supported now. So I've had people, like my partner looks at me and goes, "You're so much happier these days. Like you're so much more content than just wanting a glass of wine." And like I feel so much more motivated to do things.
I
Not
love that.
today, because I don't feel good today.
No, I get that. I mean, look, the Breathe Sober promise is that we're going to help you work through the deepest, darkest stuff that is keeping you stuck in where you were in life. And one of the things that we do is we help you restructure your day to day, your mindset, your identity. Um, so, in the beginning, when you had, if you remember doing the avatar exercise, you had filled out an avatar. Now, fast forward all these months, how close would you say you are to what you had put down on that avatar, if you remember?
You think? I think I'm probably 70% of the way. There's
Okay.
still a few things to work on.
Of
And I
course.
feel like this sickness has not helped. But yeah, I do feel like I'm about 70% of the way.
That's amazing. Just because, again, we're not chasing perfection. And these are the kind of interviews that show how real this process is. And I mean, given where you were, I mean, on a day to day basis, you're dealing with premature babies who could die without you. And that's a reality that you had to live with every single day at work, right? I can only imagine what that does to somebody and how they feel inside when they finally come home. Um, and for you to work through all of your challenges, so much of it is just, out of your control, where it seems like you're just unable to escape it. And in those moments, what works is recognizing that the outside world I can't change, but how it impacts me inside, I can. Right. And that's kind of what we focus on a lot. So out of all the things that you have learned and applied in your life in Breathe Sober, which one would you say has been the most effective in helping you become the version of yourself, or as close to the version of yourself that you had set out to in the beginning?
Like, I think that my job is so go, 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 go for 12 hours straight. And my go-to was always come home, just grab a couple bottles of wine and let's relax. And I've learned now that that's not what I need to do. And I'm trying to focus on what I need to do. Like come home, drink some tea, like just relax, find other ways to relax and spend time with my dog, like things like that. Cause it was always I've been a nurse for, I don't know, 16 years. And it's always been come home with a bottle of wine. So now it's come home to my safe spot and actually relax and
unwind.
And I've had to learn how to separate, like leave work at work, come home and relax.
I love that. Yeah. So what it seems like is Breathesober has successfully helped you break through the strongest pattern that you had built over 16 years of coming home to de-stress with wine, which I would say is the biggest
a lot
thing.
Of people. Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, right? It's the biggest thing in the sense that, you know, most people expect perfection in the sense that once I do this work, then everything is going to be pitch perfect and everything's going to be fine. And it doesn't really work like that. And, you know, I love this interview specifically because we're just, you know, being so honest and so raw about how things are. And one of the biggest things is this pattern, this deeply built in pattern, the same pattern that when people, let's say they white knuckle it, they stop drinking and they're, you know, they use their willpower for weeks, months at a time. It is this same pattern that when it's left unattended is what eventually brings you back into drinking. And you would have experienced this for yourself. So in all of the previous attempts that you had attempted, because we know that there were several, would you agree that it was this pattern that eventually broke the camel's back every time and brought you back into drinking?
I've always done it with just willpower. And last time I was sober for 10 months, something stressful happened. And I was like, all I know is to go to wine. So that's what I would do. And this time I feel like I'm building a way to not go there. And I'm changing my habits almost to be able to deal with things in a sober way and recognize that you want to drink, just sit down and breathe, do some journaling and get through it because you don't need alcohol. Like, don't.
I love
Nobody
that.
does.
And that is the biggest flip of the switch, right? We can do all the things, but it's that deep, dark voice in our head that is usually the culprit. So based on what you're saying, it looks like the voice has faded or is fading dramatically back into the background, and not a big deal for you anymore. So ultimately, you know, the main goal was to break the pattern, which we have done successfully, which is amazing. Thinking back to the version of you that was deciding to do something, but wasn't really sure what to do, what not to do, what would be your advice to somebody like yourself who's on the fence about, do I need to change my life? What should I do? What would be your guidance or word of advice to them?
My word of advice is this can ruin your life. And it's such a beautiful feeling to not think about that all the time, because I always knew it could ruin your life, and it will. It has put me in the hospital before, and it's just, there's nothing good comes out of it. And it's so nice to feel like a whole person and not forget what you did last night, forget everything, and just have complete control over your life and new resources on how to deal with things. And it just feels good to get up in the morning and feel good.
Yeah.
Not that I don't feel good today, but
but overall, I mean, you know, what I'm sensing is that on the law of averages, the graph would kind of look like this in terms of how good you've been feeling overall with all things considered.
Yeah.
So in terms of your mood, your energy, your emotional well-being, your sleep, What can you tell us about changes that have happened in those areas of your life?
My sleep has gotten a lot better. I've never been a good sleeper, but and I was talking like maybe 2 hours a night I would sleep. Um, and I'm still wake up a lot, but I'm averaging about 5 or 6, which is great.
Wow,
Yeah, it feels good.
that's a big one.
And my energy levels lately have not been that great, but they've been better to the point where I'm set out time to go on my treadmill, go to the gym, like do all of this. I would say my mood is significantly better. Like people have been commenting that you just seem so much more upbeat and happy. And I've gotten back into hobbies that I had just kind of pushed to the side, like reading and painting. And I've been doing more of that and actually enjoying it. And to be honest, being able to relax, because before my life was, where's the next bottle of wine coming? And now it's, oh, I want to finish this book that I'm reading. Let's just curl up on the couch with my dog. Like it's funny how certain things now make me happy again, as opposed to where's my wine? Like
So you're finding joy in life again.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that is the main thing. How you found your joy again after working through some of the deepest, darkest things that were holding you back in your life. That's absolutely incredible. So, Camilla, what is next for you? Um, what plans do you have? Anything you can share about where you think you're headed next in terms of your life?
I'm actually considering a job change just to make it a little more stressful, because I do work in the level 3, the only one in Southern Alberta. So I love my job, but I feel like the stress to continue the journey that I'm on right now, I don't need that much stress.
Yeah.
So if I can change it, I'm going to, because I feel like a little less stress will help me continue in the long
Just a
run.
little bit.
Yeah.
Being responsible for a life that cannot even help itself right now
Yeah.
is, I would imagine, the highest
Yeah.
level of
Maybe
stress.
like a clinic job or something. I can deal with a cough.
Yeah. That's amazing. Camilla, thank you so much for being so open and so honest about your journey with us. And to be honest, we're nowhere near done yet. You've got phase 4 coming up now, where you're going to be joining me for the next phase of this evolution. So that is what's coming up next for you. And to everybody that's watching, I just want you to know that there is, I know I keep going back to this, but one of the reasons why we struggle so much internally is because we are always trying to have this picture perfect thing for ourselves and call it life. And, change is usually ugly. We ugly cry, we just cry, we deal with all the emotions, we sit with all the feelings, because there is no other way to heal. Every other approach that bypasses or gives you a shortcut to not feel the pain is ultimately just a band-aid. And that's what we focus on here, on how to truly deal and bring up and deal with the deepest things that are essentially your root causes that are holding you back. And once we deal with those, things start to change. And Camilla is living proof of that all. For anyone that's watching that's interested in learning more about how Breathesober Reset works, or how it might work for you, you can book a call with me directly. There's a link in the description. We'll talk about your life, your lifestyle, the same thing that we did when Camilla and I first had a conversation. We had an open, honest conversation about where she was, what she needed, and whether or not we could provide it, right? So that's the discussion we'll have. And if it all lines up, then I'd be glad to welcome you to the program. And if for any reason I'm not able to help, I'll let you know that too. No big deal.
But do it. It's worth it.
Amazing. Okay, Camilla, well, thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your day today. and I'll see you inside phase 4.
Okay. Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you, Hamza.